The will is about to be read and nobody expects what's coming. Barrister Yaw Osi adjusts his glasses and clears his throat. The cramped office feels suffocating with 5 people squeezed around his metal desk. The ceiling fan whirs overhead but does nothing against Akra's afternoon heat. Kweku Mensah sits straight in his plastic chair, notebook balanced on his knee. He's wearing his best press shirt for this moment he's been anticipating 8 months. Ever since Mama Efua died, he's been planning what to do with her house and savings. Why am I even here? Amara Cohn shifts uncomfortably near the door. She's still wearing her Kellawell-stained dress from the morning market rush. I barely knew the woman. The 2 church ladies from Mama Efua's congregation fan themselves with funeral programs. They're here as witnesses, whispering prayers under their breath. The barrister unfolds the official document. Mrs. Efua Asante was very specific about her final wishes. She came to my office 3 times to ensure everything was properly documented. Kweku nods. Of course she was particular. The old woman had opinions about everything from how to fold laundry to which political party was ruining Ghana. He pulls out a pen to take notes about property transfers and bank accounts. The deceased leaves her compound house at Dansoman to her nephew, Kweku Mensah. He exhales. Finally, some recognition for 12 years of monthly visits and medical bills. Her personal effects and furniture go to the Methodist Church. The church ladies murmur approval. Amara checks her phone. She needs to get back to the market before the evening rush. This whole thing feels like a waste of time. Her business assets, including the palm oil distribution company, supplier contracts, customer accounts, and all related inventory, go to Miss Amara Cohn. The room goes dead silent. Kweku's pen stops moving. What business assets? The young woman's phone slips from her hands. What palm oil company? Barrister Osi continues reading as if he didn't just drop a bomb. The enterprise includes 3 major supply contracts with hotels in East Legon, a distribution agreement with Tema Market vendors, and approximately 2,000 cedis worth of inventory currently stored at the Dansoman property. Wait. Kweku stands up so fast his chair scrapes against the concrete floor. What palm oil business? Mama Efua sold vegetables at the market. No, sir. Mrs. Asante inherited a palm oil distribution enterprise from her late husband 8 years ago. She's been operating it from her compound. Amara's mouth opens, but no sound emerges. She remembers helping the elderly woman carry heavy containers, but assumed they were just for personal use. This is impossible. Kweku's voice rises. I visited her every month. I paid for her medicine. I fixed her roof last year. And you're telling me some girl who knew her for 3 months gets a business? The church ladies start whispering faster. There must be a mistake. He grabs the will from the lawyer's hands. Let me see that. Barrister Ose retrieves the document firmly. Mr. Mensah, I understand your surprise, but Mrs. Asante was very clear about her reasoning. What reasoning? This girl barely spoke to my aunt. Amara finally finds her voice. I helped her with groceries and cleaning. That's all. I don't know anything about palm oil or business contracts. Exactly. Kweku points at her. She admits it herself. How can someone who knows nothing about commerce inherit one? Mrs. Asante observed Miss Cohn's work ethic and business instincts during their interactions, the barrister explains. She believed Miss Cohn could successfully manage the enterprise. Kweku laughs bitterly. Business instincts? She sells Kellawell on the street. And apparently does it well enough to catch your aunt's attention. The young woman's head spins. How much is this business worth? The contracts generate approximately 800 cedis monthly in profit, depending on market conditions and customer retention. 800 cedis. That's more than Amara makes in 3 good weeks of selling Kellawell. Kweku's hands shake as he processes the numbers. 800 cedis monthly would solve his child support problems and maybe let him buy that used car he's been saving for. This is fraud. His voice turns cold. That girl manipulated a sick old woman. Mr. Mensah, your aunt was mentally sharp until the day she died. She made this decision deliberately. I'm contesting this will. He heads for the door. My aunt was confused. She didn't understand what she was doing. Sir, you're welcome to seek legal counsel, but I should mention that Mrs. Asante anticipated this reaction. She left detailed notes explaining her decision. He stops. What notes? Barrister Osi opens a manila folder. She documented her observations of Miss Cohn's character and business capabilities over their 3-month relationship. Amara stands up shakily. Can I see those notes? They'll be part of the legal record if Mr. Mensa proceeds with a contest. Oh, I'm proceeding. Kweku's voice carries a threat. And when I'm done, everyone will know exactly what kind of person takes advantage of elderly women. He storms out, leaving the door open. Hot air rushes in from the street. The church ladies gather their things quickly, muttering about family disputes and ungodly behavior. Amara remains frozen in her chair, staring at the lawyer. Miss Cohn, there's something else you need to know immediately. She looks up. The business has 3 major deliveries scheduled for Monday morning. If you don't fulfill those contracts, you'll lose the customers permanently. Monday? That's in 3 days. Mrs. Asante's suppliers are expecting payment for next week's inventory by Friday. That's tomorrow. The young woman's stomach drops. How much payment? 400 cedis. I don't have 400 cedis. I don't even have 40 CDs. Barrister Osi closes the file. Then you'd better figure out how to run a palm oil business very quickly. Because if you can't make those deliveries on Monday, Kweku Mensa won't need to contest the will. Why not? Because there won't be a business left to inherit. 3 months earlier, Amara Cohn had no idea her life was about to change. The Kelawili oil bubbles and pops in her metal pan. She tosses in another batch of spiced plantain cubes, watching them turn golden brown. The afternoon crowd at Makola Market moves past her small setup. A folding table, 2 plastic stools, and her precious gas burner. 2 cedis worth. A customer waves money at her. She scoops the hot plantain into a newspaper cone. Her 3rd sale since lunch. Not great, but not terrible either. Across the narrow walkway, Ajoa Boateng arranges tomatoes in perfect pyramids. That old woman is back, she calls out. Amara looks up. Mama Efua Asante struggles with 2 large yellow containers near the vegetable stalls. The containers look heavy enough to contain cooking oil or palm wine. Maybe both. Someone should help her. Ajoa continues, but doesn't move from her tomato display. The elderly woman sets one container down and tries to lift the other. It slips from her grip and crashes to the ground. Thick red palm oil spreads across the concrete. Ah, my oil! Mama Efua's voice carries over the market noise. Other vendors glance over but keep working. Nobody wants to get involved with the old woman who complains about everything. Amara turns off her gas burner. She can't watch this disaster unfold. Mama, let me help you. She jogs over to where the elderly woman kneels beside the spilled oil. Don't call me Mama. I'm not your mother. Mama Efua tries to scoop oil back into the container with her bare hands. Look what happened. 5 cedis worth of oil wasted. The young woman grabs newspapers from a nearby vendor. Here, use these to soak it up. The oil is gone, but at least we can clean the mess. We? This is my problem, not yours. Fine. Clean it yourself then. Amara starts to walk away. Wait. The elderly woman's voice softens slightly. I suppose you can help if you want. They work in silence, soaking up oil and wiping the concrete. Mama Efua moves slowly, her knees clearly bothering her on the hard ground. Where do you live? Amara asks. I can help you carry the other container. Danselman, but I can manage my own affairs. Obviously. The young woman gestures at the oil-stained newspapers. That's why everything went so smoothly. Mama Efua glares at her. Young people today have no respect. Old people today have too much pride. They stare at each other for a moment. Then the elderly woman makes a sound that might be laughter. You have a sharp tongue, girl. What's your name? Amara Cohn. I sell kelawili over there. I can smell it on your clothes. You use too much ginger in your spice mix. My customers like it that way. Your customers don't know proper seasoning. Real kelawel should balance sweet and heat, not burn your mouth. Amara picks up the remaining container. It's heavier than she expected. Are you going to criticize my cooking or let me help you get home? Both. The trotro ride to Dansaman takes 20 minutes. Mama Efua complains about the driver's music, the other passenger's perfume, and the condition of the roads. Amara wonders why she volunteered for this torture. Turn here, the elderly woman directs as they walk from the trotro stop. Her compound house sits behind a low concrete wall. The paint is faded, but the structure looks solid. A small courtyard leads to the main building. Put the container in that room. Mama Efua points to a side building. Amara pushes open the wooden door and stops. The room is packed with palm oil containers, plastic bottles, and measuring equipment. Shelves line the walls, filled with different grades of oil. This isn't someone's personal supply, this is a business operation. You sell palm oil? My late husband started the business. I keep it running. The elderly woman arranges bottles on a shelf. Not that it's any of your concern. How many customers do you have? Enough to pay my bills. Why are you asking so many questions? Amara watches Mama Efua struggle to lift a container onto a high shelf. Because you obviously need help, but you're too stubborn to admit it. I don't need help from a Kelawheel seller who burns her plantains. I don't burn my plantains. I can smell the char from here. The young woman realizes she left her gas burner on at the market. Oh no, my Kelawheel! She runs toward the gate. Girl! Amara! Mama Efua calls after her. She stops. Come back next week. I might have some grocery shopping that needs doing. I'm not your house girl. I'll pay you 5 cedis for 2 hours of work. 5 cedis would buy ingredients for tomorrow's Kelawheel batch. Amara nods and hurries back to the market. Her plantains are black and smoking. The gas cylinder is nearly empty. She's lost an entire afternoon's worth of ingredients and fuel. Rough day? Adjoa asks. That old woman is going to be the death of me. But the next week, Amara shows up at Mama Efua's compound anyway. 5 cedis is 5 cedis. You're late, the elderly woman announces when she arrives. You didn't give me a specific time. Responsible people don't need specific times. They arrive when they're supposed to. When was I supposed to arrive? Earlier than this. Amara follows Mama Efua to the market. The old woman moves slowly but has strong opinions about every vendor's prices and quality. This tomato is overripe. This onion has soft spots. This palm oil smells rancid. Maybe you should shop somewhere else, suggests the frustrated vegetable seller. Maybe you should sell better produce, Mama Efua shoots back. The young woman carries the shopping bags and tries to smooth over the arguments the elderly woman starts with every vendor. By the end of 2 hours, she's exhausted. Same time next week, Mama Efua hands her 5 cedis. I didn't say I was coming back. You'll be back. You need the money. Amara hates that she's right. The 3rd week, the elderly woman adds house cleaning to the grocery shopping. The 4th week, she asks Amara to help reorganize the palm oil storage room. Your system makes no sense, the young woman observes, moving containers around. You have premium oil mixed with regular oil. Customers can't find what they want. I know where everything is. But do your customers know? Mama Efua pauses in her sorting. What would you do differently? Amara explains how she organizes her Kelawheel ingredients for quick access during busy periods. The elderly woman listens without interrupting. That might work, she admits grudgingly. By the 8th week, Amara notices Mama Efua watching her interact with palm oil customers who come to the compound. When a hotel manager complains about late deliveries, the young woman suggests a weekly schedule instead of random drop-offs. You have business sense, the elderly woman says after the customer leaves satisfied. I have common sense. There's a difference. Not much of one. The 12th week, Mama Efua collapses while lifting a heavy container. Amara finds her sitting on the floor of the storage room, breathing hard. I'm fine. Just tired. But her hands shake as the young woman helps her to a chair. You need to see a doctor. I need to finish these orders. The orders can wait. No, they can't. If I lose these customers, the business dies. Amara looks around the storage room, then at the elderly woman's pale face. Then teach me how to do the deliveries. Kweku Mensah returns with a lawyer and he's not playing games. This is Barrister Kwame Ajay from Tema Legal Associates. He stands in Barrister Osi's office doorway, blocking Amara's exit. He's here to witness your confession. She clutches the palm oil business documents against her chest. She came here hoping to understand the delivery schedules. Instead, she's walking into an ambush. There's nothing to confess, she says. Really? Kweku's new lawyer opens a briefcase. Then explain how you convinced an elderly woman to change her will after knowing her for 3 months. Barrister Osi gestures toward the plastic chairs. Gentlemen, please sit down. Miss Cohn, you're not required to answer any questions without your own legal representation. I can't afford a lawyer. Amara remained standing near the door, and I didn't convince Mama Efua to do anything. She made her own decisions. The new barrister pulls out a notepad. What exactly was your relationship with the deceased? I helped her with groceries and cleaning. She paid me 5 cedis each time. 5 cedis? Kweku laughs harshly. You worked for almost nothing and then inherited a business worth thousands. Very convenient. I didn't know about the business until yesterday. So you claim. Barrister Ajay scribbles notes. But you had access to her home, her financial information, her personal affairs. I carried shopping bags and swept floors. Kweku leans forward. My aunt was confused in her final months. She forgot names, repeated stories, sometimes didn't recognize me. That's not true. Amara's voice rises. She was sharp as a knife. She corrected my math when I counted change. She remembered every customer's order preferences. Exactly what someone taking advantage would say. Barrister Ose clears his throat. Mr. Mensah, do you have medical evidence of your aunt's mental decline? I have 12 years of family history. This girl has 3 months of manipulation. Where's your proof of manipulation? Kweku's confidence wavers. The inheritance itself is proof. Why else would she leave everything to a stranger? Maybe because the stranger actually helped her run the business, Amara snaps. When did you last visit the storage room? Do you even know what palm oil grades she sold? I visited every month. To complain about her cooking and criticize her housekeeping. I was there, Kweku. I heard how you talked to her. The new barrister looks up from his notes. You witnessed their family interactions? Unfortunately. Amara sits down heavily. Mama Efua would spend an hour preparing for his visits, then he'd spend 10 minutes telling her everything she was doing wrong. That's not true. You told her the house smelled like palm oil. You said she was too old to run a business. You suggested she sell everything and move to a retirement home. Kweku's mouth opens, but no words come out. Meanwhile, I was helping her reorganize inventory and improve delivery schedules. Which one of us was actually supporting her business? Barrister Osi shuffles through Mama Efua's file. Mr. Mensah, your aunt did leave specific notes about her decision. Would you like me to read them? Yes. She wrote, and I quote, Kweku means well, but he sees my business as a burden to be eliminated. Amara sees it as a challenge to be solved. I need someone who will fight for what Kofi built, not someone who will sell it for convenience. The room falls silent. Kweku stares at his hands. She never told me the business was important to her. Did you ever ask? I assumed. She complained about difficult customers and late payments. I thought she wanted to retire. She complained because she cared. She wanted the business to succeed. Barrister Ajay closes his notepad. Mr. Mensah, based on this conversation, I don't think you have grounds for a successful contest. But the inheritance is worth more than my aunt led me to believe. That's not illegal. Elderly people often downplay their assets to avoid becoming targets. Kweku stands up abruptly. This isn't over. I'm getting a second opinion. He storms out, leaving his lawyer behind. The remaining barrister packs his briefcase slowly. Miss Cohn, you should know that Mr. Mensah is genuinely struggling financially. His child support payments are behind and he was counting on this inheritance. That's not my fault. No, but it explains his desperation. Desperate people sometimes do unpredictable things. After the lawyers leave, Amara sits alone in the office trying to process everything. She pulls out the business documents and studies the delivery schedules. Monday, Golden Tulip Hotel. 20 liters premium palm oil, 15 liters regular. Monday, Tama Market Vendors. 50 liters mixed grades. Monday, East Lagan Restaurants. 30 liters premium only. She calculates quickly. The Monday deliveries require 115 liters of palm oil. She has no idea how much inventory is currently in Mama Efua's storage room. Her phone buzzes. Text message from an unknown number. This is Samuel from Golden Tulip Hotel. Mrs. Asante usually delivers Monday morning by 9 a.m. Will you be continuing the service? Amara stares at the message. It's Thursday afternoon. She has 4 days to figure out how to run a palm oil business. She takes a trotro to Dansaman and lets herself into Mama Efua's compound with the key barrister Ose gave her. The storage room feels different now that she knows it's hers. She counts containers methodically. 43 liters of premium oil, 68 liters of regular oil. Not enough for Monday's deliveries. A folded paper falls from behind one of the shelves. Amara opens it and finds Mama Efua's handwriting. Supplier, Kwame Ofosu, Tama Industrial Area. Pays on delivery. Premium oil 8 cedis per liter, regular 6 cedis per liter. She calculates the cost for Monday's orders. The premium oil alone will cost 400 cedis. She has 23 cedis in her pocket. Her phone rings. The caller ID shows Adjoa Market. Amara, where are you? There's a man here asking questions about you and some old woman. What kind of questions? Whether you were stealing from her, whether you had access to her money, whether anyone saw you pressuring her. He's talking to all the vendors. The young woman's stomach drops. What did you tell him? The truth, that you helped her carry groceries and she paid you for it. But Amara, some people are starting to whisper. They're saying maybe you knew about the inheritance all along. That's ridiculous. I know that. But you know how market gossip spreads. By tomorrow, everyone will have an opinion about whether you deserve that inheritance. Amara hangs up and stares at the palm oil containers surrounding her. She needs 400 cedis by tomorrow to buy inventory for Monday's deliveries. She has 23 cedis and a reputation that's about to be destroyed by rumors. Her phone buzzes again. Another text from Samuel at Golden Tulip Hotel. Please confirm Monday delivery. If you can't fulfill the order, we need to find another supplier immediately. She types back, delivery confirmed for Monday 9 a.m. She hits send before she can change her mind. Now she has 3 days to find 400 cedis and learn how to run a business she never wanted. Her phone rings one more time. Unknown number. Hello? This is Kwame Ofosu, palm oil supplier. I heard Mama Efua passed away. Are you the new owner? Yes. Good. I need payment for last week's delivery. She owes me 280 cedis. The phone slips from Amara's hand and clatters on the concrete floor. Amara picks up the phone with shaking hands. Hello? Mr. Ofosu? Yes, I'm still here. When can you pay the 280 cedis? She stares at the palm oil containers around her. Can I call you back in an hour? Make it 30 minutes. I have other customers waiting. She hangs up and counts her money again. 23 cedis. She needs 280 cedis for the old debt plus 400 cedis for Monday's inventory. 703 cedis total. Her phone buzzes with another text from Golden Tulip Hotel. Also need 10 liters cooking oil for Tuesday delivery. Can you supply? Amara doesn't even know what cooking oil costs. She locks the storage room and heads back to Makola Market. Maybe Adjoa has ideas about emergency loans. You look terrible, the vegetable vendor says when Amara approaches her stall. I need to borrow 700 cedis. Adjoa nearly drops her tomatoes. What happened to hello, how are you? I'm serious. The business has debts I didn't know about. 700 cedis? Amara, I don't have that kind of money lying around. Then I'm finished before I even start. The older woman arranges her vegetables thoughtfully. What about selling some of the inventory you inherited? I counted everything. There's barely enough for half of Monday's orders. So tell the customers you need more time. They'll find other suppliers. Mama Efua's notes say the hotel business is very competitive. A well-dressed man approaches Adjoa's stall. Excuse me, are you Adjoa Boateng? Yes. I'm investigating allegations of elder abuse involving Amara Cone and the late Efua Asante. Can you tell me about their relationship? Amara steps behind the tomato display, hoping he won't notice her. Who's asking? Adjoa's voice turns cold. I'm a private investigator hired by the family. There are questions about how Miss Cone gained access to Mrs. Asante's assets. The only question I have is why you're bothering honest people with stupid accusations. So you witnessed their interactions? Every week for 3 months. That girl carried groceries, cleaned floors, and listened to more complaints than any person should have to endure. Did she ever discuss Mrs. Asante's finances? She complained about getting paid 5 cedis for 2 hours of work. Does that sound like someone planning a financial scheme? The investigator scribbles notes. Did Mrs. Asante seem mentally competent during this period? Sharp as a razor. She could calculate change faster than my calculator and remembered every customer's preferences. Try asking someone who actually knew her instead of spreading gossip. Thank you for your time. After he leaves, Amara emerges from behind the tomatoes. That was Kweku's doing, Ajoa says. He's not giving up easily. I can't fight a legal battle and learn to run a business at the same time. Then focus on the business. If you can make those Monday deliveries, you'll prove you deserve the inheritance. The young woman's phone rings. The supplier again. Mr. Ofosu, about that payment. Time's up. I need my money today or I'm cutting off your supply. What if I pay half now and half next week? What if I find customers who pay their bills on time? Please, I just inherited this business yesterday. I'm trying to figure everything out. Silence on the other end. Then, Mama Efua mentioned you. Said you had good business sense. She did? Last time I saw her, about 2 weeks ago, she said she was training someone to take over eventually. Amara's heart pounds. She was training me? That's what she said. Look, I liked Mama Efua. She was difficult but honest. I'll give you 1 week to pay the 280 CDs, but you need to place next week's order today. How much for Monday's delivery requirements? What do you need? She reads from her notes. 75 liters premium, 40 liters regular. That's 750 setis total. I thought you said 8 setis per liter for premium. That's wholesale price. You're ordering retail quantities. The young woman's stomach sinks. She needs over 1,000 CDs by Monday. Mr. Ofosu, what was Mama Efua's usual order size? 200 liters monthly, paid in advance. That qualified for wholesale pricing. What if I commit to the same monthly volume? Can you pay 1,600 setis up front? Amara hangs up and slumps against Ajoa's stall. Bad news? The vegetable vendor asks. Impossible news. I need 1,600 CDs to get wholesale pricing, but I can't make enough profit to pay that without wholesale pricing. Sounds like you need partners. What do you mean? Other vendors who buy palm oil regularly. Pool your orders to reach wholesale quantities. The young woman considers this. Would that work? Ask them yourself. Here comes Akosua from the Kenki stall. Akosua approaches carrying an empty palm oil container. Ajoa, do you know where I can buy good palm oil? My usual supplier raised his prices. Amara steps forward. How much do you usually buy? 10 liters every 2 weeks. Why? I might have a better price if you're willing to order in advance. They negotiate quickly. Akosua agrees to buy 20 liters monthly if the price is competitive. Word spreads through the market. By evening, Amara has commitments for 180 liters monthly from various vendors. Combined with her inherited customer contracts, she can justify wholesale pricing. She calls Mr. Ofosu back. I can guarantee 200 liters monthly starting next week. Prove it. Bring me 800 CDs tomorrow and signed orders from your customers. 800? I thought wholesale was 1,600. That's for the full month. I'll let you start with half the inventory if you can show me the customer commitments. The young woman calculates frantically. She still needs 800 CDs by tomorrow. Mr. Ofosu, can I bring you 400 tomorrow and 400 next Friday? This is business, not charity. Full payment or no deal. After he hangs up, Amara sits in the empty market as vendors pack up their stalls. She has customer orders worth thousands of CDs monthly, but no money to fulfill them. Her phone buzzes. Text from an unknown number. Heard you're struggling with the palm oil business. Meet me at Mama Efua's compound tomorrow morning. I have a proposition. Kweku wants to meet. Either he's planning to help her or destroy her completely. She texts back, what kind of proposition? The response comes immediately, the kind that could save us both. But we need to talk before that investigator files his report. Amara stares at the message. Kweku has been fighting her for 3 days. Now he wants to make a deal. Her phone rings. Ajo calling. Amara, that investigator was just here asking about you again. He wanted to know if you ever had access to Mama Efua's money or if she ever gave you expensive gifts. What did you tell him? The truth. But he seemed very interested when I mentioned you had keys to her compound. Barrister Ose gave me those keys yesterday. I know that, but the investigator is building a timeline that makes you look suspicious. The young woman's hands shake as she ends the call. Tomorrow she needs to find 800 CDs, meet with Kweku about his mysterious proposition, and somehow prove she didn't manipulate Mama Efua. Her phone buzzes one final time. Text from Kweku. Bring the business documents tomorrow. All of them. Trust me. Amara arrives at Mama Efua's compound with the business documents clutched against her chest. Kweku sits on the front steps, still wearing his pressed shirt but looking rumpled. His notebook lies open beside him, filled with calculations. "You came," he says. "You said you had a proposition." "I do. But first, look at this." He hands her a bank statement. "I found it in my aunt's bedroom yesterday." She scans the numbers. The account shows regular deposits of 600 to 800 CDs monthly, but also consistent withdrawals for medical bills, house repairs, and supplier payments. She was barely breaking even, Amara realizes. Exactly. The business wasn't making her rich. It was keeping her alive. "Why are you showing me this?" Kweku closes his notebook. "Because I spent yesterday talking to her customers. The hotel manager said deliveries have been late for months. The restaurant owner complained about inconsistent oil quality. She was losing business." "So?" "So maybe she left you the business because she knew I'd sell it, but you might actually save it." The young woman sits down on the steps beside him. "What's your proposition?" "Partnership. I provide startup capital, you run daily operations. We split profits 60-40. 60 for you. 60 for you. I just want enough income to help with my child support." Amara studies his face. "What's the catch?" "No catch." "But we need to move fast. That investigator is filing his report Monday morning. If we can show the business is thriving under your management, it strengthens your legal position." "How much startup capital are we talking about?" "I can borrow 1,000 cedis against my pension fund, enough to cover the supplier debt and first wholesale order." Her phone buzzes. Text from Mr. Ofosu. "Final reminder. Payment due by noon or I'm canceling your account. It's already 10 a.m. "A deal," she says quickly, "but I need the money in 2 hours." "Already arranged. My bank opens at 11. They shake hands, then head to the storage room to inventory exactly what they're working with. 43 liters premium, 68 regular. Amara reads from her notes. Kweku examines the containers. "Some of these labels are faded. How do you know which grade is which?" "Mama Efua taught me to test the color and consistency." She opens a container and dips her finger in. Premium oil is darker red and thicker. Regular oil flows faster. "She never taught me that." "You never asked to learn the business. You just wanted her to retire." He nods slowly. "I thought I was protecting her from stress. Instead, I was dismissing something she cared about." At 11:30, they meet Mr. Ofosu at his warehouse in Tema Industrial Area. Kweku hands over 1,000 CETUS cash while Amara presents the customer order commitments. "Impressive," the supplier says, reviewing the paperwork. "Mama Efua never organized orders this systematically." "She was managing everything in her head," the young woman explains. "I wrote it down so we don't lose track." "Smart. When do you need the first delivery?" "Monday morning. Early. I can have 200 liters ready by Sunday evening, premium and regular mixed according to your specifications." They shake hands and head back to Accra. Kweku seems more relaxed than Amara has ever seen him. "Why did you really change your mind about fighting the will?" she asked during the Trotro ride. "Because I realized my aunt was right. I would have sold the business immediately. You're actually trying to make it work. Even though it means less money for you? 40% of a growing business is better than 100% of nothing." Her phone rings. Barrister Osi calling. "Miss Cohn, we have a problem. The investigator submitted his preliminary report this morning." "What does it say?" "He's recommending a formal investigation into possible elder abuse and financial manipulation." The young woman's stomach drops. "Based on what evidence?" "Circumstantial mostly. But he noted that you had keys to Mrs. Asante's home and access to her business records before her death." "She gave me those keys so I could help with deliveries." "I believe you, but the investigator suggests you might have influenced her will-making decision through your access to her financial information." Kweku grabs the phone. "Barrister Ose, this is Kweku Mensah. I'm withdrawing my contest of the will." "Mr. Mensah, are you certain?" Completely certain. Miss Cohn and I have reached an amicable agreement about the business. That's excellent news, but the investigator's report is separate from your contest. The authorities might still pursue charges. Amara takes the phone back. What kind of charges? Elder abuse, fraud, possibly theft, if they can prove you manipulated your aunt's decision-making process. How do I prove I didn't manipulate her? Character witnesses would help. People who observed your interactions and can testify to your aunt's mental competence. After hanging up, she and Kweku sit in silence as the Trotro navigates Accra traffic. This is getting serious, he says finally. Maybe you should distance yourself from me. If they think I'm a criminal, partnering with me could hurt your reputation. Too late for that. Besides, I have an idea. What kind of idea? My aunt kept detailed business records. If we can show that her decision to leave you the business was based on logical business analysis, not emotional manipulation, it might help your case. They spend the afternoon at Mama Efua's compound, searching through boxes of receipts, customer correspondence, and handwritten notes. Look at this. Kweku holds up a notebook dated 3 weeks before the elderly woman's death. She wrote detailed observations about your work performance. Amara reads over his shoulder. Amara suggested weekly delivery schedule instead of random drops. Hotel manager very pleased with consistency. Amara reorganized storage room for better inventory tracking. Found 12 liters of premium oil I thought was regular grade. She was documenting your business contributions. He realizes this wasn't emotional decision-making. She was evaluating your capabilities. They find more evidence. Customer feedback forms praising improved service during the young woman's involvement. Profit calculations showing increased efficiency. Even a draft letter to Barrister Osi explaining her inheritance decision in business terms. She planned this carefully, Amara says, reading the draft letter. She wanted to make sure no one could claim she wasn't thinking clearly. Kweku's phone rings. Unknown number. Hello? Mr. Mensa, this is Detective Inspector Aguiman from Dansaman Police Station. We need to speak with you about your relationship with Amara Cohn and the circumstances surrounding your aunt's death. His face goes pale. My aunt died of natural causes. The doctor confirmed it. We're not investigating the cause of death, sir. We're investigating possible financial crimes that occurred before her death. Can you come to the station this afternoon? Am I under arrest? Not at this time. But we strongly recommend you bring legal representation. He hangs up and stares at Amara. They're calling me in for questioning about financial crimes. What financial crimes? I don't know. But if they think I was involved in manipulating my aunt, this partnership just became evidence of conspiracy. Her phone buzzes. Text from Detective Inspector Aguiman. Miss Cohn, please report to Dansaman Police Station immediately for questioning regarding elder abuse allegations. Bring all business documents related to Efua Asante. They look at each other in growing panic. We're both suspects now, she whispers.